Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. But you know,
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get stronger, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get stronger, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. Gonna hear my song, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. I can run this town. Somebody give me the key. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. No more doubt about me. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, don't you know I got the Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Kidia.
It's grand final time here in Cup number 4, ESL Challenger League Europe, Season 50. You know what it is. That's why you're here. It's Sinners and it's Monte. Monte, maybe we didn't expect that. I was pretty sure it was going to be a Venom rematch here in the final versus Sinners, but Monte have surprised us all the way through, Yumi. They beat opponents I definitely don't favor them against, and they're still here, and that has to be for a reason. They must have played strong Counter-Strike, and Sinners should not come into this thinking this will be a slam dunk.
Yeah, the conversation about Monte we've had earlier was that it's not like they don't get themselves into winning positions. It's just how are they going to fumble it, or how are they going to mess up a situation or misplay it somehow, or maybe somebody else on the other team is making a crazy play, but there's ways they could have counteracted it and played more conservatively. There's definitely a rambunctiousness to this Monte team, but they're going to need all the clutches, are going to need things to tighten up, because this Sinners team is on quite the roll as of late. This is the third final that they find themselves in the recent months, and they're really itching for more victories, a chance to make their name known in ESL Pro League as well.
Here we have said bracket. This is the upper portion and the upper bracket. As you can see, Sinners did play Monte a couple rounds ago. Upper bracket semi-finals. We did have that on the stream early this week, but that feels like a lifetime ago, given how much Monte I have seen since then. And here's said lower bracket, where Monte ran it back. The Venom game, almost certainly last night, was their most impressive, and they absolutely deserve to be in this grand final. Let's talk some of these players, Yumi. We're getting obviously to the very end of this cup. Who are the standout players on these teams who maybe is an MVP contention for this whole thing?
I mean, you can't really have this conversation without talking about Kisarek, because he has had some monstrous performances. He's been a very consistent force. He's coupled up very nicely on the Sinners roster, and I actually wasn't sure if the implementation of him was going to step on anybody's toes, if some of the traditional stars or high-impact players that Sinners have relied on in the past, some of the almost franchise players, really. Players like Shock, for example, would see a massive hit, but he's actually been able to retain some numbers for himself as well. And that power duo, coupled with sometimes just beasting out himself, this Sinners team just has a whole lot of firepower. The Monte side have a little less reliability, but Ryu, I think, has been doing a very impressive job throughout.
Yeah, I was just actually going through the stats themselves. They do make for quite a surprise. Obviously, we're biased towards the later stages here, watching them right towards the end of this playoff campaign. But someone like Shock is actually number 2 for Sinners right now in terms of statistics, which is a bit of a surprise to me. Kisarek is at the top, and that one is not a surprise. Kisarek looks so good versus Venom, beating down his old teammates, bit of a revenge. And certainly, as you said, Stressaren, Kisarek, these guys are the standout for Sinners. Sinners is a bit more, for me, of a top-heavy team, whereas Monte's biggest strength is that they don't have a huge individual weakness on their lineup. But I don't think they have anybody that can match Kisarek right now.
There is going to be an advantage in this veto, though, for the Sinners. They're able to ban that train, and it's not something that Monte pick a lot, but they have also been able to win it a lot. It often goes into deciders. Other teams are picking it into them, and Monte have been actually have a very, very good win rate, 72% in 18 maps. So that being banned out, a nuke picked up here for the Sinners. That's been a pretty bread and butter solution for them in the past. Dust 2 for Monte, and then that Mirage decider. So we've got more flat terrain maps that are a little bit more aim heavy, that maybe could lean to some strengths of Monte down the stretch, but that nuke for the Sinners is going to be a tough one to beat.
Yeah, they picked it in many a series at this point, plenty of times in their recent games, and we know they look good on that. And I think with his veto in general, I think Monte are going to struggle to find any huge advantages. I guess the good news for them is that they do have Dust 2 available. They lose the train, which is a pain because they would have picked that into other teams in this series. And it will be decided on Mirage, which is another one actually the Sinners do really like with their current lineup. So I don't know. I don't think Monte could necessarily have gone many other places in this veto, but I think they're in trouble, Monte. I do think Sinners are reasonably heavy favourites, especially now that I've seen the maps.
Yeah, and in terms of significance for the win, you know, obviously there's the chance to make it to the qualifying stages to ESL Pro League. That's the major thing in terms of leveling up and getting your name out there, increasing your opportunity for VRS. But just in terms of the roster moves and the rebuilding of Monte, this would be significant because this will also be their third final that they've been in recent months, and they came close at a Draculan, losing to Fnatic. They lost just recently in the Nodwin clutch series to Nuclear Tigers, who are also kind of a team surprisingly on the rise. And you have these other contenders that are beating, and sometimes, you know, Monte in terms of form going into those tournaments actually does look like maybe the better team, but then a few of these cracks show. And just in terms of building confidence, they will need a win, a tournament under their belt, because since they brought in Gizmi and Ryu from their academy team, this team has not been able to win a tournament online or on LAN, and it would go a long way towards their confidence if they could get into that qualifying bracket.
I mean, you'd have to think for certain that the end goal for Monte as an organization is quite a bit above where they are at the moment. Not to say they have to get there tomorrow, but they need to show signs that they're growing in that direction. Otherwise, I'm not sure this project makes sense. And that's what we want to see. That's why tournament wins, particularly this sort of level, are important. Obviously, going into next week, potentially playing for a Pro League spot, that is another level above even this in terms of what it could do for them as an organization. So I agree. Monte, we know their ceiling is high. Certainly having watched this playoffs so far, I do think Venom, because Venom came very close to beating Sinners, and Monte at their best are the only teams that could beat Sinners. But that's at their best, Yumi. Monte, man advantage situations, anti-ecos. I don't think they can afford to lose those today. I don't think they can against Sinners. I think they'll lose the series if they show the same cracks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially with the form and the level we've seen out of Kisarek, Shock, Beatstick so far. You know, there's a lot of tools that are in the cabinet for Sinners, and we've not even necessarily gotten the best performance in this tournament from Peppo or Stressarn, who also can be kind of explosive and have maps where they can take over in a sense. So, yeah, Monte will need to be at their best. That's absolutely certain. The team play is really the best way that they can try and find an edge, but that's something that Sinners have been refining themselves and actually have demonstrated, I think, a greater capacity to not make those mistakes and to get everything gelling very well together. So yeah, there's a lot on the line for, I'd say there's probably more on the line for Monte, because I agree with you, the direction of the project is actually kind of going in the right way, but they need to get results to show for it. You don't pick up pieces like Afro, you don't pull, Bemis out and Azu as well. These are pieces that didn't necessarily always find great success, but they add levels of experience and different philosophies that they've maybe been under the tutelage of, that they can offer new ideas, especially for Gizmi as a fledgling in-game leader. The idea that this roster is being propelled by those two academy come-ups and it's actually the players that they've decided to bring in that are maybe struggling to get consistency. There has to be something stamped in a merit of approval that this is a project that is building the right way.
It's important as well for a team in Monte's position is, sounds a bit brutal to say, but it's just the truth that Monte, in a year, let's say they do get up to maybe top 20 again, maybe it's not with the same roster, but it has to be with the same core. And Monte needs to learn who their core is. Is Gizmi a caller for the long haul? Is Afro the right caller for this team? Bemis has had a couple maps in this tournament where he has been easily the best player on the server and been an absolute monster. And he's had others where he doesn't look like that sort of player. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's positional. Maybe it's just the team, they're not consistent enough. But Monte lacks for identity right now. And I don't think Sinners does. I think Sinners know exactly who they are. And maybe we'll see that come to bear over this series. Looks like Nuke is ready and waiting in the wings. Pick of Sinners. Almost certainly one of their best maps, if not their best map right now. They could put on a masterclass.
Yeah, well, if they get off to a hot start, then Monte could be in trouble. Fast play in this pistol, and they already deal with Azu immediately. Gizmi can provide no support. They route and bypass him, but Rio's quick on this flank, even as that bomb goes down 4-on-4, but that pressure is brewing. It's full lobby control for the CTs, but Gizmi is taking fights by his lonesome out from heaven, and they know that this is going to end up wrapping in on them. It's all on timing. Right now, Monte are not making sudden moves, but now they barrel forward. Dooley's leading the way, and Ryu down range, but Peppo getting a whole lot of success on that pistol. It's 3 in defense of that top site. Sinners breaking through on that T side.
Good start. Aggressive. Peppo getting engaged. Peppo's probably the player, for me, where the most scrutiny comes on this lineup right now. I understand all the other pieces, I think. Beastic obviously calling, Shock, kind of more supportive element. Granted, he's had a very good tournament, but the team's really meant to set up Strasaren and Kisarek And obviously they've gone international to bring in players like that. Pepo's the one little bit of an odd man out. If you're going to go international, and equally if you're filling the boot of Oscar, we do expect quite a lot. And maybe a bit more consistency from Pepo would be nice. We hope to see that.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're looking at the top level tournaments in the world, you're seeing AWPers re-emerge as aggressive, high impact pieces that are maybe trying to get some impact in a way that the game is maybe not allowed in previous metas. Should maybe inspire you to try and find a bit more on that heavy investment. Sinners are taking a cautious step in this round against USPs, but somehow Afro still finds timing on Kisarek. B-stick. Oh my god, okay. Flick up, and he will be dealt with eventually. So it's a 3-on-3. This could still get a little weird, but Sinners should wrap this up. I mean, they're totally unarmored, barreling out from heaven, and yeah, the rifles do get the job done in the end. So 2 deaths, but Sinners will just be pleased that nothing went too wrong.
All right, guns are out. Of course, saving second, buying third, AWP is always going to be tricky for that CT side, and they do not have one on the server. Someone needs to buy kits here. Afro, he's got his. Okay. Let's see what Sinners choose to go for. Early smokes being dispatched. Standard cross smokes going down, but Afro feels like some aggression. Kisarek dispatched already. Let's see if Afro can get out of dodge and stay alive. He cannot. So important trade. I guess a little bit of info for this CT side, but a very important kill to refrag Afro.
Oh dear, a bit of a crazy move there from Shock. Tried to go around the other side of that vent smoke and ends up offering up his life for free. So man advantage found here for Monte in this first gun round. They have got B-stick downstairs. Just about how you try and link up with him and whether or not he can pick someone off, because no one on Monte has gone down to address this, not until Gizmy starts to give it a peep.
Such a huge kill. What's this going to do to the CT rotations? Do they think more players have crossed? Because we can see that the remaining 2 are kind of by the red crate outside right now. There's astonishing lack of movement from Monte. Ryu's playing in and around ramp, but almost by virtue of not moving around very much, I think they might be in really good positions here to deal with this lobby move. Are you truly going to clear the back of this squeaky door area? It's such an unusual position to be playing Shasara, and he does clear it, but Bemis wins. Barrel showing, but easier said than done when it comes to killing. And now that bomb is dropped. It's a no-go.
How on earth has Bemis managed out with that? His barrel was showing. Felt like a totally free kill there for the Sinners. But almost because there was no acceleration. You get a kill on a player just rotating into the B-bomb site. Most teams would spring immediately at that opportunity, recognizing the gap that they found, but the total absence of additional pressure, Monte don't move a muscle, and they put themselves in a position to win it as Sinners regroup to A. So, making a little too long were the Sinners, but they didn't want to hazard this journey outside without smokes. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be too consequential, but the couple of kills that they seeded with how many rifles they'd invested and had to rebuy into, they have to come into this round with quite a few deagles. Or from an ideal wall.
Well, they should have a good idea that players could have crossed, I think, this time. Afro's actually doubling back up ramp, and surely go even further that way now that Rio's been dispatched. See if we can get any further here. Down secrets. Azu is dropped in the vent. But the T still have options. It's not like they're committed lower. They've still got players out in yard. Member towards ramp. That's Shock. just sitting ready and waiting. And they're just like a constricting snake at the moment. Wrapping back into A. Good kill from Gizmy. It's a bit of an early warning. There is a player up in heaven. There goes Bemis. Gets traded eventually. Just need to deal with Gizmy, and this bomb can go down safely, and they have. I think Azu will probably think better. This one doesn't even make it that far. 3 kills for Shock. Big round.
Yeah, got himself out of secret and just immediately deleted. The 2 rifles that are bought in from Sinners find every single kill versus the Monte full buy, and that's just by virtue of finding a couple of gaps and waiting to see what Monte would do next. Shock did a great job of applying pressure at ramp there. Kept them waiting, and because it happened early enough, they could continue to stall out, and Monte were effectively flying blind, because I think they recognized, just as you said, that options were pretty wide open there for the Sinners. They didn't need to deep commit into that B bomb site. And that was a slow strangulation of Monte. They felt very uncomfortable.
It's where they'll struggle the most, and where they have struggled the most really is these mid-round situations. Even the round they won here, I'm not totally convinced they made brilliant decisions. I think they just sat still, and Sinners came into them. So we'll keep tabs on that as we get through this half. Certainly, Nuke CT side, if you're going to have issues, this will probably be where it is. Probably it's the map that looks the easiest when you get it right, and you look the most silly when you get it wrong. In terms of CT rotations, it's quite exposing.
Yeah, if there is a gap, it'll get blown wide open. The timings that could be hit. Right, only real weapon of threat. Yeah, sure, the 5.7 can be it, but Bemis on that MP9 is really what I'm looking at. I did start Afro towards those secret steps. Molly will keep him at bay. But there's a absence of actual pressure towards outside. Sinners will take it as they collect on ramp as well. So both extremities threatened, and Ryu just trying with that 5.7, overwhelmed. Catch for Kissarak as well. Neither side has been felled.
So Shasarans have gone all the way from the top of mid. He's wrapped into heaven now, and he's yet to actually see anybody. It's quite astonishing. Looks like Monte are keeping bodies on this lower site. Kind of makes sense with their sort of remaining weaponry. Weight of numbers, at least try and get a kill, but this Sinners team looks very disciplined to me at the moment. Shot could be caught. Indeed he is, so a gun collected, and they'll do well to keep this one saved at a minimum.
Yeah, now it becomes priority. Bemis just act as a bodyguard for this rifle. AK on CT side can certainly do wonders. Leave a little less to chance. Yeah, there won't actually be an active pursuit of the Sinners to even collect on these weapons. Bemis is dead. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't get far enough away from that bomb. Azu barely survived. He didn't have armor, so that bomb really chunked him down, but 3 HP is enough. And there will be an extra rifle to play with for the Monte side. This was moving into an investment round, but added flexibility and that lethality on that AK could make a difference.
Looks like Afro has dropped out here for a brief second. But
Just
back soon.
I will say, talking about the mid-round discomfort from Monte, I'm just loving that the Sinners are also doing a great job in those mid-rounds of not only slowing things down, but playing very collected. I think the only round that goes against them really is that top side gamble that Monte did, where they're a little separated, they didn't have smokes to cross. But they are making Monte stew in the lack of map control. Even the round where they have these pistols, I think most teams would think that it was going to be a lower attack when you have pressure outside and they find an entry at ramp. Easiest way for those two sides to link up is on the lower side.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few rounds of Sinners having both yard control beyond just the standard stuff to get down secret, more kind of into garage, pressuring main a bit, and ramp. And that just means that we're almost getting to the point of fundamentally there's not enough CT bodies to cover up all those positions. What have we got here then? Shots exchange, pressure inside and out of squeaky door. The bomb is there, so I do suspect Sinners did want to get more aggressive, but I imagine they pulled the plug on that one now. They'll have lost, really. They've still got 3 smokes. They could send a new set outside and still sell a potential seeker move, so no need to panic. And that's where the bodies are heading at the moment, back to yard.
Yeah, I think the Sinners were even caught off guard by just how willing the Monte side were willing to be aggressive. The flash to peek door from Azu caught them with nades out. So this readjustment is warranted. Now, Gizmi is in those secret steps and doesn't have a teammate that's in a position where he can set up for flashes or provide support. Gizmi may just have to try and take a timing peek, and as Util sails outside, it could be his time to make a move, but they're already in through main, and he gets caught by that player lingering in at red. Shock also entering into that top side alongside Shasarm, but Ryu answers with a double. There's a man advantage here for the Sinners, but they've recognized that this heaven is occupied, but they continue to take fights. Beastick eventually landing that trade, but both players are low, and that ult of Afro hits that first, but Beastick just continues to decapitate. In-game leader, oldest man on the server, doesn't matter. Sinners can rely on Beastick.
It's been so clutch this week. Just absolutely unwavering in a lot of these rounds. Him and Shock. It makes for quite a deadly team when you've got Kisarek and Shrasaran being the normally early round aggressive elements leading the way, and then some more experience to fill the gaps. Let Pepper do his own thing on the AWP, and suddenly you are cooking with gas. And this T side is starting to already look pretty monumental. Wow, they're just finding the kill so fast on these rounds. Bit of aggression from Monte. So the ramp move doesn't get anywhere. The lobby move does at least find some frags, but no more. Cleanup crew is there now.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. The kills are coming either very quickly, or even if it's happening in the late rounds, it's just this explosion of action. The Sinners feel like they're in full control of the tempo of this game so far. And really the most success we've seen from Monte in terms of finding kills back is when they're actually sort of barreling in on the rotate or reacting off of what Sinners are doing, but they're always that one step behind. 6 rounds already from the Sinners T side. That's already more than enough moving into the second half, but Sinners will absolutely be itching for more if they can find it.
I think Ryu's in big trouble right now. He is. Doesn't get a great deal done. Further nades coming in. Not the most helpful flash, but no love lost. They're still making moves. 4 down the ramp now. Azu decides to fight. Molly flushes him a bit wider, but for now, still got room to play with. Beastic obviously knows that Azu was in and around recently. Off angle comes good. And Shock a little bit too far back to immediately trade. And now this becomes very difficult. First collected, Afro. Ooh, he's a bit hesitant.
Oh dear.
Arm shows. I think Afro just needs to really knuckle down now and wait for Bemis.
Yeah, but Shock is expecting that type of a play. Understands that smoke is going to be up for a further 10 seconds. He's trying to hunt for this player that looks to contain him. That's info on both. With this reposition from Afro, he has not decided to press off of that contact. Afro waiting to see if he can maybe time the door, but Shock is starting to remove himself from the situation, and Afro gets the better of him, pre-firing through that and past the door. Eventually, Monte get it done, just rotating into this B bomb site.
Did the door also just open the other way because it was being blocked? No, it did open it.
No, yeah.
He the other way for a moment.
He gave it clearance.
Okay. Well, I see Monte back on the board, but there still is obviously some work to do. There's still some holes that need to be plugged. Ramp is free for the taking right now. Sinners have got it every time they've gone. And I don't think they've traded badly once going in for that control. So I very much doubt that'll be the last time we see ramp pressure come out in this half. Falling back to a bit of a slower default. Keeper smokes it down. Now they're going to use a second set. Really threat across towards Secret. But the bomb isn't committed here. It's just Kisarek. And let's see if these CTs overreact.
They've also got a player top main. So with all this presence outside, and has not looked to action any aggression as of yet, they may be just waiting for this door smoke before making their move. Monte are in decent positions to trade off one another. In fact, they're trying to aggro straight, but Shock in with the instant double. Gizmi's on an island now, has a rotate in at that bomb site, in from Bemis, but they just all lose their heads. Shock with 4 kills, but it's a calamity of frags. Monte don't even put up much of a fight.
There's just no defense. Shock kills all of them.
It's all Shock all day.
The first two are obviously more understandable. This is an attempted lobby crunch sort of move, having kind of lost information elsewhere on the map. But then he just runs on the site and finds a couple more. Why not? 13-5. Stunned me a little bit seeing the stats that Shock was number 2 in terms of Sinners during this cup as a whole. Well, maybe I should be less surprised now. Had enough of Kisarek being the limelight. This is an MVP attempt right now we're watching from Shock.
Yeah, let's be clear here. If there's going to be someone under the Sinners brand that serves to represent him, it has been Shock. And it will continue to be Shock. Monte are just getting bullied. This time it's a wrap towards heaven, and Ryu does get a trade, but they have no real stake on the bomb site. Bemis does hit with the 5-7, but do they expect more than just one? Bemis is trying to reposition around it, and Sinners has pumped the brakes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. B-Stick is thinking there's just too many directions I could die from now if I start moving. There's 49 seconds. It's not an absolute certainty that Sinners need to end A. I'm surprised that Ryu isn't playing with his teammate. I guess they have no eyes on ramp. They're thinking the bomb could have gone back down again. This looks pretty good now, I think, for Sinners. Util's being dispersed. Beamer stuck behind this molly right now. Bomb will be planted for heaven, and they're leaving Strasiren up there. This is good calculated play by Sinners. There are very few ways Monte could win this, even if they had a full belts of util and whatever proper guns.
2v3 even with a kit and full resources, life would be difficult. So holding onto that AK is going to be the priority. Bemis might stick around to see if he can get a kill on the exit. This is through and through another round here for the Sinners. Up to 8 on the offense. Whether it's been ramp, whether it's been outside, or a bursted top side hit. Bemis getting 2. Right now, it does feel like Sinners are just simply killing everyone everywhere they go. And while it was nice that Bemis got a couple kills on the exit, Monte desperately need rounds. This CT side effort has proven to not be enough. And they have been trading as best they can, outside of maybe the one shock and all round. But Sinners are fine to play that game. Their money is good.
Timely pause. Can they fix this? What do you fix? It's not an easy question to answer. They've tried giving Sinners more space and playing for the late round, doesn't work. They've tried at least mid-round aggression, hasn't worked. We haven't seen much early round aggression, but that is a gamble, man. Yeah. Even at the best of times, you've got to get your guesses right, otherwise you're just committing into too many players to make it work.
It might be a wager worth taking when you're facing down this type of scoreline already.
Yeah, you're right.
There's Afro striking first. Top silo dealt with. Azu full blind and running through the smoke. to catch that gap is Gizmy. So another kill found here for Monte. They still have that man advantage.
Looks like Strasarin ran out of hut, which is bold. Very bold. Somewhat gambling that nobody's looking his direction. They're more focused on Squeaky, but clearly somebody, that man being Gizmy, I believe, is paying attention.
Yeah. But Gizmy ran through main to pick up that kill, so he actually wasn't wrong in that nobody was covering for hut.
Yeah, surely they looked this way. Yeah, I think that was pretty much suicidal, the spot Gizmy was playing. At least Ryu's there for a response. And this is what Sinners have been the best at this half, isn't it? Pump the brakes and make Monte sweat. I appreciate Monte's got a man advantage, but that doesn't necessarily count for that much when you have this much territory to cover.
I think Shock heard a player drop inside of the bomb site as well. They're splitting up. Yeah, Shock is going to try and make some presence towards his top side. He doesn't have util to speak of, but if he somehow gets one over on them, this will cause an overreaction. The Sinners... Actually, no. Relinking, and Beestick has mollied himself off inside of main. So things are getting really scrambled. Flash in, and Shock totally blindsides him. Beestick looks to bypass and break straight in with that plant. The spam is so close, but it's damaging Shock and not the planter. And so it comes back to 2-on-2. These CTs still playing separately. Ryu's looking to reposition, but Afro taking this deep line towards top side, and he had the angle, but he misses his line.
What's Ryu
This is
doing?
desperate now.
Ryu's given up so much time with his reposition. He was going to flank lobby. Back in through heaven now. Shock, I don't think Ryu expects it. He definitely does not. Wait, a few missed shots, but I think time could well be enough. The most awkward duel you've ever seen.
Insane.
Here one. But there's just no time. Oh my. That is a big moment in this grand final.
Have you ever seen a more awkward dance with death in a 1v1? Neither could quite believe it. Afro's out the server. I thought Afro had read that position well while waiting for Ryu. That shot in heaven that he misses, that could have been the backbreaker. A way for Monte to finally get back on the board, but it has been heartache.
It's just gone too far now, hasn't it? I can't believe Beestick mollied himself. They only had, what, like probably 1 or 2 seconds in that plant before they lost it as well.
But all he needed to do was throw that flash for Shock to come out of the heaven smoke.
I mean, the reason he's splurging his util isn't really for himself. It's more so to pull the player who's looking heaven off. And in a sense, he did so much that you could basically guarantee Bemis was going to look the other way for a moment. It's like Afro rejoin and drop out again. Something of the sort.
Yeah, looked like he attempted to make it work, but still having some difficulties. But that has been the story for Monte so far in this final. First map here of the Sinners. They opted for this nuke, and they're impressing so far in this T side. Getting entries, controlling the tempo, allowing Monte to make some of these mistakes. But also, I would say the Sinners have a fairly good read on what's happening in these rounds, and they're almost always making them threatening. Monte have just not been doing a good job of mitigating those threats. Well, it does seem like there has been some challenges here for Afro, not only in the server, but also maybe now out of it. He's struggling to get that sorted. So while we wait for him to rejoin us, we're going to throw ourselves to a quick break. But as he rejoins, we're hoping to get this grand final continued.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
And we're back. Last round of this first half. Afro's internet hopefully more stable. And what was essentially a massive timeout for Monte to have some sort of discussion about what is going wrong and what they can remedy. Best case scenario is 3 out of this half. That's probably not enough, to be honest, but they need every morsel they can get right now. This is a must-win round.
Yeah, scrounging together a buy as well. Sure, they have that AWP in Afro's hands, but as we got that XM, we'll be hard-pressed to get some impact. I think onto Peppo as they go down, and Afro already covering those secret steps. Has control of lower and still continuing for more, but Beastick rips his head clean off. So there's at least a way back in here for the Sinners. 4-on-4. Peppo surviving on that 2 HP. He is just another body that they can cause problems with. But the rotate is coming down towards that lower side. Monte have been displaced, and Sinners aren't committing just yet.
I certainly don't blame Monte. They're thinking, well, what if we get hit hard on lower in a few seconds? We need the bodies. Azu starts to make his move.
Oh.
And does not last long. There is no outplaying Shock right now. B-Stick chimes in as well. The old guard are showing the new kids on the block how it is done. Is Bemis ever even going to consider a player this wide? B-Stick won't be looking at the corner himself, so that was a slightly strange interaction, but information is good. Bomb is now sprinting onto the site. Plant's going down. This is not an easy retake at the best of times.
And with those thunderous steps of Bemis, they're hyper-conscious of player down towards lower, you would think, but Shock completely blindsided. Stresson was not covering for those vents, but he goes in for the trade, and Bemis will have to clutch things back, has that AK in from heaven, and they're going to try their best to delay him. He does not have a kit, and so time will be of the essence here for Bemis in this clutch. They're trying to just knuckle down inside of lobby, tap on that bomb. They don't know if this is a 5-second or a full stick, but Stresson will get the job done. 10-2 at the half. Sinners, a very dominant display on this T side on their map pick. Monte have a lot to answer for in that second half.
Three rounds then is all that is required for Sinners to win their map pick and be one map away from winning this grand final, placing themselves in next week's qualifier for Pro League, and of course some VRS and healthy prize money in the process. You would absolutely not bet against them right now with the form they've been showing.
Yeah, they've made every right read. They've been hitting harder. Monte didn't really have much to stand on in that first half. Had no read on the tempo or the plays. Now, Monte have shown some presence outside as well as towards ramp. Shock forced back. On that outside pressure, one of the players is at least slinking back, only hovering Ryu, but they're hoping to wrap towards Hell. Beastic still investigating, and Ryu will deal with him. Shock is who covers off this rotate towards that A bomb site. First player's easy enough. Azu's still dancing, and Gizmi that spotted with that bomb. Ryu cannot provide any support from outside, and it's long-range duels that Shock will happily deal with. They're running away from Shock. They want nothing to do with this man. 18-7, the strongest piece so far for the Sinners. Monte are hoping that they can find a gap that they can exploit somewhere. But even if they dive this vent, there are 2 players lower.
Whew, okay. That is not what I expected of Strasarin. He would have expected more as well. Peppo gets in behind. Body shots. That's more like it. Shock continues to be an absolute monster right now on Nuke. 19-7. Kisarek does the job. It's almost baffling to me that in a map where Strasarin and Kisarek have taken back seats, it's 11-2 for Sinners.
Yeah, it's just been fueled by great mid-rounds and these fast explosions onto bomb sites. This time it's really all Shock. He had the most to deal with. He was getting crunched in from both sides, had very little cover from outside and that wrap to Hell. But he sent them packing. They really wanted to evacuate from that situation, only to fall into a different trap.
Monte should have forced. This is basically giving up the map is what they've done. This is saying we want rifles and actually play around rather than trying to win it. 10 in a row is not possible against a team of Sinner's caliber. That'll be 6-7 gun rounds. You're not going to win that when Shock's playing this well. Somebody's going to make a move.
You just had to say that number, didn't you? Monte dare to believe that they can make a comeback happen when they get these rifles in hand.
Well, sorry to be the firm hand of reality, slapping them down, but we will be on Dust 2 before long.
Well, if it's gonna start, it's gotta start right now.
And can't stop.
Yeah,
no reverse gear.
And they best not feed Kisarek by the time this map closes. 4 kills versus those Glocks. He may not have been as impactful as some of the other pieces, but if he also starts to activate as the leader statistically here for the Sinners, then your chances really do start to go down, even moving into that second map.
Check out the mini-map. Double down ramp. This is crazy. They've given A. Sinners are... well, I'm trying to find the words. Bold, brazen, cocky, maybe?
Expecting Monte to play for map control and try to be disruptive, but it is a topside hit, and with a total absence of bodies on this bomb site, things do get weird. Gizmi, nice adjustment on the ramp pressure. It is far too quiet on the site. And Gizmi still just retaining control of lobby, so fantastic position. Peppo does eventually deal with him, but it's into a 4-on-4 where there's a lot of util and kits available here for Sinners. Flash in. Beastic allowed for the peek, and Ryu does trade things out. In fact, doubling up Afro inside of the site. It's only Shock they have to deal with, but he has been the main man of the Sinners. Near franchise player and just catching toes. Here's all the bouncing here of Bemis on the bomb site. Spam. They have no idea that Shock is so damn close, and it's planted in an opportune way. Shock not landing that smoke on the package itself, and Afro will swing. So things get a little hectic, they get a little dicey, but that first round, a requirement for Monte to stay in this map. They do register it, but none survive.
Yeah, it looked like Shock was expecting the plant on the other side of the silo, so bit of a mishap, but certainly it was the call for Sinners. I mean, unbelievable kind of sequence of events. Fully give A. Monte, without any defaulting out. I mean, even if they just defaulted for a moment before hitting A, they would have met bodies. They just avoid all the carnage. So this game will continue a little bit longer. No surprises to see Sinners in a much more standard setup. Can be forgiven for that. And a less than perfect buy, so chances for Monte.
Ooh, Flash is perfect. Shock is sectioned off and forced back, but he doesn't give that much room. They have access to the ramp room, but they cannot descend the ramp until Shock pulls back, hoping to fall into a double man setup on that lower site with Kisarek.
This is the only person defending A, and he's got a pair of jewelries. Sinners need to make an information play. Some sort of move. Gonna re-smoke door. But once that smoke goes, they're in big trouble of getting collapsed on this upper site. That lower two-man setup from Sinners is pretty well committed. Now it starts to move. Kisarek up the vent.
And down it again as well. He's made noise on both rotations. B-Stick hovering around on this outside control. Gizmi finally gets the better of him, and now they spring their trap into this A-bomb site. There's all that util, but they've held control of ramp this entire time. They're actually hoping to go right on down, but they drop that bomb, all courtesy of Shock. They leave very little to chance, very little to time, and they just simply do not have the space. A suffocating round from the Sinners. Monte fall into that two-man B setup, and they close 13-3 on their map pick.
One of those rounds where if Monte had known what the setup was, they would never have been so spread out. So I don't entirely blame them, but Sinners, as they have all map, are one step ahead. They're playing checkers. Are Monte, and chess is coming out from Sinners. A fabulous T side. Shock was an absolute monster so far here on map 1. I'm nervous, man. The form of these Sinners individuals, that for me was the one way into this series for Monte, is individually they have a high ceiling. If they can't hit that and keep these Sinners individuals at bay, it's just hard to see a way into this. Dust 2, albeit a good map for Monte, is not going to be an easy win.
Yeah, they could have a high ceiling, but the ceiling of the Sinners is also pretty close, if not already at that threshold. We're seeing great calls, great shooting, and Monte just simply not matching up. It would do a lot for Monte and their confidence to win a tournament, but getting blown out on the first map in this series didn't really feel like they had a fighting chance. Always that step behind, like you said. You know, even if their individuals are fighting, tactically, they were that step behind, and they're really going to need to pick up the pace. They need their pieces to activate, and I think you hit the nail on the head. If they can't do anything to slow down the Sinners or bypass their stars, they're in for a rough time. But we're going to have to wait to see how that second map goes, whether Monte can continue to fight within this grand final, or whether the Sinners will find themselves one step closer to ESL Pro League.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God that's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first steps towards EPL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/EPL.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account or blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, acting like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino. Uh-huh.
Welcome back as we get into map number 2, grand final in cup number 4 between Sinners and Monte. Map 1 was indeed Sinners' pick of Nuke. Decisive victory. This one is Dust 2. It's by no means a bad map for Sinners, and I think that for me is the concern coming into this, isn't it? Is Monte, there wasn't a lot of places they could have gone in this veto, but Dust 2, it's going to be a hard win for them. It's going to be hard to get, I think, this to a third map.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the win rates that both these teams have had as of late, it's kind of hard to peel them apart from each other. I mean, they're both in fairly similar positions, quite close in the world rankings, quite similar in how deep they're making it into tournaments, but the win conditions do feel different. You know, Sinners have the punch, but they also seem to have the tactical prowess. Monte don't necessarily seem to always have that tactical prowess, and sure, they can maybe deliver on that punch, but if Shock and the rest of the Sinners boys can put up numbers like they did on Nuke, then moving into these more aim-heavy maps, it can be a little bit complex. And, you know, that's not me saying that Dust 2 is necessarily all about aim. There is a very good macro game to play, but it is a map where things can be simplified and you can find a lot of success. Monte are going to have to show us what they are made of on this map, because the Sinners are not going to make this easy.
Okay, work to do then for Monte. They'd very much like a good start. 4A start for Sinners in this round. Plenty in and around long. I dare say Monte might come here soon. Till is ready to go. Some sort of mid, maybe Xbox smoke being lined up. Here it comes.
Oh, what?
Good enough.
Can go of it. Yeah, there you go. The bar is set at the floor for Monte. 2 rounds on Nuke. Anything more than that would impress. This pistol would go a long way towards that. But they throw that mid-smoke, throw a Molotov, and now they start to make noise out long. Kisarek caught by the flash, but able to readjust his aim in time. Gets one, but the swing from B-Stick, actually, whoa, he got a kill just before he went down. And Peppo rotating out from spawn has reinforcements right behind him, but they have a man advantage, and they want to try and play off that. They will allow this bomb to cross. Spam not doing enough to deter it. And with that extra man, they have a fast attack from long.
We see where that came from. Does he hear a step? I think he did. Well, it's starting to run out, and Peppo wins. Just Afro. Does he expect Tristan to have creeped up close? Doesn't look like it. So, pistol round goes the way of the CT side. But I very much suspect we're about to see a force buy in response.
Yeah, you get into a winnable position. Sinners were playing fairly spread on that retake. You know, first the aggressive move from Shock, then the follow-up steps from Peppo. It was theirs for the taking. With the added money from that plant, yeah, they will be incentivized. They opted not to go for that on Nuke. They wanted to get guns in their hands, and they couldn't make that comeback happen. So I think it was 13-3 on Nuke, wasn't it? They did win one round. The scoreboard at the top is 1 round shy. Stressarn, first kill. Azu, out long, doesn't succeed, and Kisarek gets 2 with the MP9. Thank you for the free upgrade. This is a Galil that he'll happily take.
You wouldn't believe they bought the way they got mowed down going out of those long doors. Incredible.
How on earth did he get 2?
Well, this is not a good start for Monte. These sort of rounds, even if you're not going to win them, it's pretty critical you kill 2 or 3 players. And at least do some damage. That looks like a pretty slim possibility given where I'm sat at the moment. Ryu, Afro, pairing up now on short. Peppo's the player tasked with being initial point of contact here on A. He doesn't need to overplay his hand here. Ryu dispatched. And Afro doesn't get anything. 5 alive. This is pretty harrowing at the moment.
Yeah, smooth moves there from Peppo as well. Caught wind of them making progress up short, ducked under the angle that Afro was holding, and then just sidelined his teammate. Peppo 4-0 start, but success has been found towards long via Kisarek. His recovery on the flash in the pistol, this time a double on that MP9 on what was a Monte force buy. And now just pistols here for Monte on the attack. Stressarn already permeating into lower. Ryu hits the shot onto short, and there will be more where that comes from. Azu combining for a couple of opening kills here for Monte on a very low investment, and Bemis has even caught Shock past the smoke. So while there was damage back by the rifles, these pistols are making this round interesting.
This was meant to be the freebie. Sinners had done so much good work against. Would have been a much stronger buy in the previous round. This is a little bit on a knife edge now. Still, there's no util, there's no armor on this T side. If they can just get some good engagements, this doesn't necessarily need to slip out of hand. Kisarek on rotation, the timing. Oh, spots a couple heads. Needs to kill these players very quickly. Kisarek is up to the task. I know he took a bit of Nuke off, but he's here to play now.
Oh, that was beautiful. Perfect headshots, burst control, and just kept himself mobile. Knew he was up against pistols. A lack of armor as well there for Monte. So once he tagged you once, you were absolutely not winning that fight. After he got those 3 kills as well, able to even retrieve that M4 on short. Double up immediate from the Sinners camp.
Yeah, I guess the good news is their second round was so clean that it hasn't hurt them too much losing those guns in the previous. Peppo never gets up his boost there. And they're going to retain the double AWP. This does not give them a lot of leeway if we get into a retake later on, because that is the biggest fear. They clearly believe that these AWPs are their best chance of neutralizing something in the mid round. They need a kill to even up these numbers. And more importantly than anything, I think Sinners on A need to make a decision. What piece of the map are they going to hold? They've fully given long right now.
Gone for a very unusual boost to pick into short. Now that won't be investigated by the Monte side as of yet. Still a minute to burn. Rather, 30 seconds. Just catching wind of a player on short, but the Molotov makes it difficult to see.
Bemis is the info. They've pieced it together. They were understanding that it was probably 2A. They were both on short or in and around short.
Oh, Afro missed.
Afro, we saw this, didn't we, on Nuke, a missed shot in and around Hut that time from Heaven. They've still got a man advantage. It is just Kisarek on this side of the map. Flash comes through. He's going to go. He's going to go. That was the only moment where this round could be stabilized, and it's fallen by the wayside.
That bomb is out in no man's land. So little time. They may have to hunt down Shock, and if he picks this player on the cross, there is absolutely no way they get this plant down, but the shot missed, and the bomb will start making its way. Ryu's still inside of the tunnel. Shock can't quite believe it, but Monte have been able to bail themselves out of what looked like a pretty poor situation, but they out macro the Sinners there. A total misread on where the Monte camp were headed, and that info gathering from Bemis sending Monte the right way. It's their first round, but it was far from comfortable.
Old start from Sinners, a 4A start. It's pretty old school, is playing Dust 2 like this. It tends to indicate you're pretty scared of a long move. And obviously, if you're going to play that many bodies into one piece of the map, there has got to be compromises. That compromise is made in Azu with a tremendous timing. Do Monte understand what they've just seen? Do they understand that B is ripe for the taking? Beastic desperately needs a flash here, I think, to play off. He's just going to swing. And Bemis is the master to that. It is just Shock with a 5-7 to lock down half this map. Kisarek is not really attempting to fight through CT either. Shock is in a near insurmountable spot right now. Does collect the first. AK scoop. This would be something very special if he can get any more out of this round.
Afro's picked another, but Shock active with this AK. And it's hesitation.
If he wants it.
Yeah, Bemis does not want to swing this window. Him being so low health, one bullet would do him in, but he descends out from window, and Shock finds perfect time to strike. 3 kills from Shock, the isolated man, left on an island by himself. May just win this round yet for the Sinners. It's only Afro that can redeem it. That all about from the tunnels. So many angles to clear, but he's hoping to piece it together. Headshot offered up, and he gave a small little hint there for Shock. Peppo trying to keep eyes on that prize. Afro hits the shot in return. That bomb was dropped just outside that door, but Peppo wasn't sure if it had been recovered. And it's Afro that pieces together a broken round for Monte.
What more could Shock have done? If they had won this round, I would have called that the round of the series. That is how unbelievable it is the Shock manages to save that situation, but unfortunately just not enough cavalry. And Monte battle their way to a couple round wins. It is categorically not been clean, but they are T-side. They can brunt more economic losses as it was. As long as they keep this round clean, which looks pretty likely right now, it will have a bit of reserve too, so they're scrambling, but they're holding on for now.
Yeah, not expecting too much out of these USPs. Someone could catch them totally off guard. That's the bomb again, but it's okay. Ryu's not far away. Doesn't compound into a greater issue. And Peppo now spotted over at long, so no problems. Brushing that one aside. Third round here for Monte against that full save of the Sinners. The good news could be is that even in these scrambles these late round flustered moments, you are getting impact from some of those stars. Maybe as a requirement, but sometimes that added pressure can reinvigorate you as well, that you can outplay your opponents, and they're going to need that belief considering how well Sinners dealt with them on Nuke.
This is a series anyway where they need to win in those difficult situations. I don't think they're going to get the same number of opening kills they have against lesser opponents. It's got to be in the shadows. Monte do their best work. What have we got here? A bit of a mid-creep. Afro sets his sights up on the window at the moment. Nobody moving. B-Stick bides his time. Dressaren starting to realise what is up. Volley's flying in. B-Stick swings. Important kill. Does anybody have a flashbang for him? Don't think so. He's a little bit too far back. He does have a flash, but he's not using it. Dressaren does catch Ryu on the push through of that smoke. Can these two combine together for more frags? Shock has been completely undeniable during this series, and he continues his reign of terror. No bomb site is lost so long as Shock is alive at the moment.
Last time Afro clutched, but this surely is insurmountable. 1-on-4, B-Stick still tucked. The jiggle is caught. Another player inside of spawn, another that cuts him off top middle, and he'll hit that flick right back, but he's not expecting Peppo so close. And so while Afro finds a couple, it won't be enough to get Monte back in it. Shock with a 3K in defensive B, locking that side of the map down. Monte may want to avoid him.
I would. I would. Easier said than done.
That, I mean, just a calamity of misfortune as well for Monte. The molly was perfect on B-Stick, but he gets his kill, gets out, and then in the stress arm throwing the smoke into tunnels. I think it hit Ryu as he came in, so he just started running at them, hoping that he could catch them out, expecting that that sound cue would have been heard. And then those two B players just brushed them aside.
Not inconsequential, like Afro's kills there at the end. It keeps this money in a pretty dire spot. I also suspect Sinners are probably on minimum loss bonus right now, so they're in double eco territory. We often talk about how it's maybe less important on the T side to look just at the rounds, but look at the money. If you break the CT economy, it is quite a long road back to full investment. I believe everybody's on the server. Okay, yeah, we're underway. Important round for both teams.
Yeah, even if this is to end up as a Sinners round win, keeping numbers alive to bolster that economy, like you're talking about, would be important for the remainder of the half. Monte would be forced to save should they cede this one. Bringing some rounds back up to their tally has deteriorated their loss bonus. They do have that AWP in Afro's hands though, but they are occupied by a lot of Galils. Sinners having full long control, boost up on the blue bin. And they'll leave Kisarek there. B-Stick, ballsy play close to the smoke. Molly thrown there from Azu, not something that B-Stick can spring on. This smoke is not going to last forever, but Azu seems very clued in. He's holding for it. He hits the shot, just taps away to check it. And that's a freebie that he'll be happy with.
Such a pig as well to rotate on CT Dust 2. Sinners have got to make some really tough decisions right now about where they put the bodies. Dressaren, his flashes haven't really helped him a great deal. And Shock
get out.
Shock can very easily here get overwhelmed. Well, if it's anybody but Shock, that would certainly hold true. Two massive frags. Dressaren can't quite finish his food, but at least holds him at bay for a moment. Shock in a rock in a hard place, and he throws the rock straight back at them. 4 frags for him. There is not a shred of doubt in my mind that if Sinners win this grand final, Shock is the MVP of the tournament.
That was impressive. Solo hold on B, but he didn't have to worry about the split. The mid portion got completely segmented. They throw left and right side smokes. They get caught in between another, hit by a flash, and they don't feel confident it's not being watched. So it lets Shock take those isolated fights, and he does extremely well. Well, Afro has a small little safe haven by that blue bin. B-Stick still going to clear it. And not a bead of sweat on the brow of Sinners. It is smooth sailings versus the Pistols. More money built up.
If I'm Sinners, I play a 4A round right now. I think the chances that Monte will go B are really slim, given the last few gun rounds. It's be interesting where the forces are distributed. Clearly, this pause is to discuss said options.
They do have Ryu on a B spawn. But the bodies are gesturing one way. That's the one thing about Dust 2 is that spawns and where players are looking actually can give you a bit of an idea. Doesn't seem they're going to be too convinced. They will want to avoid Shock.
B6 not scared to take a risk. He's been around long enough where he understands the flow of this game right now. Monte have just paused to change something. They're not going to run a similar round. It's going to be an alteration. For now, fairly standard opener for Sinners. Tisrasarin is pretty much committed mid rather than B at the moment. Now he doubles back.
I think the real pain point for Monte in this game will already be that actually the ideas that they've been going for, the calls that they've been making, haven't necessarily been terrible, but they've been stopped or they've been forced to hesitate. That has allowed Sinners to get away with these massive multis.
It's really hard to call a game like this if you're Monte, because you need to be very objective about what is and isn't working and what is the cause of that. It's entirely possible that they've out-macroed Sinners on a couple of these rounds, but Shock has just destroyed them. That doesn't mean they can't run those rounds again and have success. But obviously, in the moment, it's really hard to separate those things apart. Your mind just sort of confirmation biases and the reverse.
Yeah. As well, with this being the only chance that they'll have remaining to get themselves in the running for a slot at ESL Pro League. Already a map down. Being objective is something that is often led from experience.
This is going to be a B round.
So brave call, dropping to CT spawn, so they have cut all the rotates. There is no possibility of these A players linking up, but they go over towards B. They go over towards Shock and Stressarn, and while Stressarn's dealt with, Shock fully cleared out. They get a calamity of kills, and they deal with everyone on the Sinner side before that bomb even goes down. Fourth round after that timeout from Monte is sublime.
I think Sinners were thinking similarly to me. You could see how they committed both. So Pepo was holding long with the AWP. They committed the other two A players to the site proper. In a standard setup, the A rotator would move between CT spawn and A depending on information. They clearly didn't think it was going to be another round mid B or B itself. And that essentially spells curtains. Fast B round. Where has this come from? Out of nowhere, Shock decides to make a go of it. He's so good right now, isn't he? It's ridiculous. It's again a situation where Monte, in a sense, catch their opponents off guard. They get the first kill, but Sinners just shreds off the back of Shock. And now he's going to call over his teammates. There's plenty of util, 2 mollies, 2 HEs, flashes galore. They're going to carpet bomb, probably back plat, car, these sort of positions. Here we go. Molly's starting to rain in. The most important things that they're grouped as they go into this site. Time starting to dwindle. But they're finding their numbers, and Afro says, no way, Jose. I'm not fighting for this one.
Yeah. His post plant got smoked off immediately. The defuse is tight, but the Sinners do have it. Yeah, they had the kit, but it was a very late dive on that bomb. Sinners will still just be happy because you hit the nail on the head. Monte make the right call. They change tempo and they catch those B players slightly asleep, but that's shock. He has been
Absolutely
delivering the goods on that B bomb site where Stressarn gets immediately demolished. Shock does not.
It's just a different world, and you can see how it's kind of messing with the rulebook, the flow of this Counter-Strike. Look at the long move.
This is a gap.
So far advanced. This could already be over and they don't even know it. It is a complete miracle, I think, that nobody gets caught off guard and dies. So at least 5 are alive, but obviously, in terms of territory ceded, Monte have basically got all the way up on A without losing a great deal.
And these players with incendiaries weren't in great positions to continue to stall on that plant, so Sinners are completely outside of the site, having to wait for these smokes to fade, but there's more where that came from. A fresh smoke deployed by Bemis. They will have to go through this.
They need to exec like it's a T round, don't they? They need to use something like an Vanguard smoke and get on with this. Shock finds a kill. This is all about Afro living and fighting for this after plant, I think. The bomb is pretty good plant for him. And here come the flashes.
There's so much util.
There's so many of them. Frankly, just too many to turn. I think that was stuck in time.
Yeah, it's another.
That is 8. Down to the wire as Shock inspires his team to get up to 8. 5 rounds away from victory are Sinners.
Every second counts. Sinners with some incredibly late retakes down to the wire on a couple diffuses, but they keep Monte at bay on their T side with only 4 as a lifeline remaining in this final. Sinners already a map to the good and having a significant lead. This pistol, needless to say, is important.
There is not much margin for error right now if you're Monte. You simply have to get this half off to a good start economically, be it win the pistol or an early reset. One of these things has to happen. And of course, winning pistol is probably the simpler route. Higher percentage routes. Sinners did start with plenty of bodies towards this B tunnels area, but seem to be reallocating the forces.
Seeing something like this, it's almost certainly they saw something in a demo, and when that didn't happen, they've decided to go for a different plan.
They're certainly in a spot right now where you just play the highest percentage rounds. Do damage, get bomb plants, even if you lose the round, do a lot of damage and get a bomb down, buy again, keep up the pressure.
Wait, CT smoke thrown from outside of B, and it's pulled the potential rotate further away from this A bomb site.
Got a lurk as well for the afterplant. Can they deal with this car player quick enough? Gizmi gets tagged in mid. Wow, this is really working out well, I think. Sinners, all they have to do is dish out some damage onto Bemis, but that is proving a lot easier said than done. I think Bemis has single-handedly saved his team right now. Shock continues to find kills, but with 12 seconds, this one's not on. Surely not. 8 to go, and
Yeah,
Bemis is running for his life. Wow.
As he absolutely should. He wasn't sure which way he was coming from, but yeah, eventually evacuates. Bemis's 3 kills outweighs Shock's simply because of time and an uncleared angle. He did so well from Carr there.
He did. You normally see Carr come into play when it's like a really good 1-2 punch with the site player. I'm not sure they were actually working together that well. More that Beamish is assassinated. And he got the chances. So, Sinners do not get a plant. They will still force. I think the hand was kind of forced here by virtue of Shock actually saving. And having no loss bonus. He's been given the Galil. That's not a surprise, given the current scoreline for himself. But a chance here for Monte. This is not the strongest buy I've ever seen on the second round.
Hazu with a very safe jump spot for the crawl out to mid, but it's something that could be susceptible to timing. Shock doesn't realize just how big a gap this is. No one's holding for a mid walkout. There's no precursor utility, nothing to tip Monte off. That's exactly what they were fishing for. Heard Afro drop, and Shock springs the trap. They get all the kills they need to on this A bomb site. 3 on 2.
I like this.
The extra weapons are dropped inside of spawn, so what is a bad situation could have been made worse, but they will need this retake. Monte have to fight for this.
It's a good plant for Pit as well. Not an AWP, but a scout is second best in this situation. It's been the talking point all tournament long. Monte on these second rounds, anti-eco, anti-force buy, have wavered before. Oh, another tag. Azu's low. Peppo does about finish the job. Can he get around the corner? He can. Just Rhea remains, and time might have just sealed the deal, irrespective of what happens next. Monte again. Full foul to a lesser buy in the biggest of games.
And the call seemed to just break them apart. Nobody on Monte spotting mid. That Azu jump spot from B only covers one side, and Afro dropping into spawn off of short left him a sitting duck. The rest of the A bomb site completely scrambled.
Of course, it's Shock as well. He's just absolute money right now for openers. Long take then for the T side. There's 4 in defense on A from Monte. Macro-wise, they've definitely made the right decision. But can they seal the deal? They can. There's just way too many bodies. They didn't expect this many in play. Oh. Kisarek does unbelievably well, let's be honest, to find those first 2. And now there's jeopardy. It's all on whether Afro picks the right site now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a gamble. And he's clearing from mid while also trying to hold on to long. It's going to be difficult. Could be a timing where Kisarek crosses, but Afro honed in onto B. He's clearing that upper tunnels just as Kisarek diverts himself lower. So they're on the right side of the map to each other. But these ships are going to sail right past each other.
I don't think this is an exaggeration to describe this as the map for Afro. They're in a huge deficit if he can't convert this. Does he ever expect Kisarek to be in this corner? He does not. Oh my lord. Close, but no cigar.
The call to play out to long. Initial trades weren't great. Flashes to follow were on the money, but they didn't expect all 5 from Sinners to barrel out through that longhouse. That extra body, Kisarek getting the drop on them and coming in clutch.
It's got to be said, when you reach this point in a grand final, like the fashion of rounds doesn't matter anymore. Sinners, if they get these rounds over the line, they're not going to care at all, are they? It's just about winning them. It's about survival. They've earned themselves a lesser investment to face up against now. 4B stack. Afro's in and around Xbox, but he decides to fall back. For now, they just continue their default. Let's see if they get a read on where these CTs are positioning. They, of course, won't meet any resistance on short if they take it. But for now, quite a slow-paced approach.
Shouldn't be any problems, really. B-Stick having that Mac 10. Expect him to go out searching. He'll find the side of Afro. That cubby not quite big enough to tuck him completely. B-Stick having an idea on the buy, looking at that USP. It is Afro, so of all of them, likely to save the most. Yeah, they're investigating long, and this is going to be free runway into an A plant. Monte can't get anything to really fall their way, even if they're all in the right places. Not converting on the round, and this time, well, they pick the wrong site.
It's more time, really, for Monte to revel in their position. Do their damnedest to at least take a few guns away. Does B-Stick look the right way at the right time? No, he does turn. It's just the MP, the Mac 10 though, so a huge loss really, as far as Sinners are concerned. We're already looking towards the next gun round, I think, as Sinners make it up to 11.
Ain't saving much. Ain't dealing that much damage. Gizmy does get another. And hands on a Galil for a moment. Beppo, unsure about whether he was spotted, waiting to give Gizmy a false sense of hope that he might have been able to carry that weapon over. There's a buy still loaded here for the Monte side, but they'll take any little wins they can get. Most Sinners are only looking at big ones.
There's certainly time to have a discussion, isn't it? I think they probably have at least one pause left.
They may have exhausted.
It's absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I mean, some of those T rounds that Monte had, they may have exhausted all of them, actually.
This is all the makings of a slightly delayed B-pop. Gog gets directly ready to go. Ryu with a huge mantle placed upon his shoulders. Does find the first 2, and Azu combines for more work as well. Initial hit rebuffed. Huge man advantage now as well. Look at the long flank from Bemis. This should not be possible for Sinners.
As soon as any presence was made over towards B, Bemis leapt himself right out into that forward spot. Full understanding that Sinners were looking for a knockout punch. But Ryu stops them at the gate. Him and Azu lock down that B bomb site. Really important first kills out from Ryu. Allowed Azu to swing alongside him. And that 1-2 punch can be tough to break. That's some of the issue with going with that delayed pop. As the CTs get into better positions. So there is a hope. A 5-round game. They can afford no mistakes. And the Sinners are spread with a suboptimal buy. Khalil, Tech 9, a scout. Nade is very good there from Gizmi. After tagged by that scout, peeking mid. But the Sinners have played a slow-tempered game. I expect more of the same here.
This feels pretty nervy. Both teams, frankly. But I think Sinners are quite prepared to play slow rounds that would fall in tow of a lot of what they've done during this playoffs. So initial mid creep is underway. Gizmi's sleuthing his way into CT spawn, so he is pretty well positioned to help out with this. Smoke's come in. And we're going to go for this. Gizmi through the smoke. He does go through, finds his man, and gets a second. This is very good for Monte. Bombs out in the open too. This round is over. Shock is good, but he's not this good. 24 seconds. Got to get on with this. Needs to probably die and at least get his loss bonus. Favors the save. 7 then for Monte.
Yeah, brave move there for Gizmi, but called them as they were trying to get out on that mid B. That small gap round the boxes, all he needs to see. And before Sinners knew it, they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. Swinging door, out the smoke. There was nowhere to hide. It's a big impact out of Gizmi. He's had some strong games for Monte so far in this cup. Was a little shy on the scoreboard. 2-14 at one point, now 6-16. So these multi-kills will go a long way individually for him.
Well, if any man's going to have the AK, might as well be Shock. Instant encroach.
I'd like to see anyone else on the team argue for it.
Here we go. Gizmi. Ain't too much of a duel. They should be aware that Shock is safe, so I imagine all of them will be playing for information. You don't want to straight up fight against this young man right now. Bemis is playing quite an off angle. But for that reason, probably won't be initially cleared. Let's see if Shock here can line himself up for a trade. First player jumps. Shock comes out. Good kill. That's a gun on the ground as well. But of course, the AWP here is going to be very difficult to overcome. Kisarek, helping out his teammate, goes down in the moment. God, they'd love a flashbang, a smoke, anything, frankly. Try and cross this line, but they don't have it. Even pre-fire this angle. Not really a lot they can do to cross this. I wouldn't have thought. Peppo does find one, but Afro is tremendously difficult to deal with right now. The kill comes in, and suddenly it's a little bit more scary than I ever expected. Afro just needs to stay completely tucked here and wait for his teammate, I think. But Ryu's on a massive move. Time is dwindled. And actually, Peppo does go down before time, so could have been worse.
It certainly could have been better. That gets a little too close. Love the leveraging of all those Glocks. Players rounding corners just so that AK can go out for the swing. Worked on the first, but Afro hitting a very fast flick and repositioned nicely. Stop that from getting out of hand, even if for a moment it did look like it almost got out of hand. Fast long play out from the Sinners. Bemis evacuating. Here's all those flashes, so understands that they could very likely be past that smoke. It's 4 for long from the Sinners. And there's already presence into the lower tunnels there from Azu, so extra rotate cheated over to this A site. Afro's tempted, catches the jump spot. They know they're hard swinging this, and Bemis goes out wide from CT. Afro has to evacuate. There's no safe place on the site. It's only Gizmi that stands as that last bastion to stop a plant, but he goes swinging out from Gandalf. As this is likely a locked-in 12th round here for the Sinners. Ryu hurt on that jump up. They know that he can be close. It's being watched for, and Azu trades, but there's the follow-up in from the Sinners. Only one dead in this T-side round. They take long control, and they just rock Monte on the site.
I hate to call it out, but those two should have saved. I understand they got lost in the moment. It's grand final. We're right near the end. They want to make a difference, but they've just put themselves in a spot where they're going to be lacking for a good buy across the board here. Can we muster? I think it'll just be Gizmi on a Ryu buys into it as well to get himself more util. I believe this is the final pause here for Monte. As now they are on the ropes. Sinners are a threat for that Pro League spot the way they're playing right now. They look incredible.
Yeah, I mean, other teams that have qualified from cups prior may have been on good runs or good trajectories at the time they won those cups, but considering the qualification, the European finals from those 4 cups is going to happen almost immediately following the conclusion of this. Sinners are in form.
It's a good time to peak, isn't it? Right when it matters. And the buy, it's playable for Monte. That's the best I can say right now. They've taken a big risk. They've started 4A. It's just a default for Sinners, so hopefully for Monte's sake, they get on top of this and distribute the forces back towards something a bit more orthodox. They're going to commit, though, to their 4A stance. This is a big risk. If they just hit B right now, split or straight up hit, I don't see it being held.
Yeah, they're going to be active. The extra manpower that they have, they had a flash lined up, but they start to call it off. Bemis, the only one that Soul investigates, they don't even use the flash. Contact play, and the Sinners are hoping to react off of it. They throw those smokes out towards middle, but look at the dismantling here from Monte. They have no presence on this A site. Kisarek pouncing with that bomb straight into a vacant bomb site, and they may be a man down, but they have strong time to play out the post plant.
Cool heads is what Monte needs right now. They have no kit for this retake. So knock 5 seconds off that timer. It's so tense right now. Azu starts his creep. Heppo given a chance. Doesn't connect, but Strasarin and Kisarek do. They're going to town. Shock, of course, combined. Very fitting that he gets the final 2 frags. Your champions are the Sinners. They'll be playing for Pro League next week. They thoroughly deserve to win this grand final. There is no doubt the Sinners were the best team in this cup.
A commanding victory on their map pick in the series, and even if Monte put up more of an effort here, Sinners just kept on getting winning position. And so much of this final fueled by Shock, a man on a mission to get to that European finals. A chance to go up against the likes of Paravision, BC Game, and what used to be ESC under Friendly Campers. Our 4 teams are decided here from that European region, but none look as strong as the Sinners do right now.
They're in fine form. Peaking, as I said, at the right time. They played a fabulous grand final. Shock for me is, without a shadow of a doubt, the MVP of this cup. You play a final like that and you earn it. Here's a reflection on our bracket to see how we ended up here. Let's give a quick word, I guess, for Monte. From my perspective, yeah, it probably was more of a blowout final than I expected, but I think Sinners were always heavy favourites here. And just growing throughout that lower bracket, Monte, I think they are on the right trajectory. It's just too early for me. They've got a few too many holes in their game right now.
Yeah, no, there was definitely difficulties, these moments of hesitation, maybe a lack of conviction on some of the decisions, because they did hit weakened sites. The overall macro understanding of these rounds developing felt like it was in the right place, but they lacked that polish that the Sinners offered us time in, time out. The individual star power, at the start, coming into out of the opening rounds of the upper bracket, we were talking about not even players like Shock and Kisarek leading the way. We were talking about Beastick. We were talking about Stressarn, Peppo, actually having these massive games. And then when it got deeper and deeper into these playoffs, that's where you start to see the difference with Kisarek and Shock. Shock, absolutely the MVP. He now actually tops the charts for this cup specifically at a 137 rating. And it is well-deserved. Played lights out tonight.
Absolutely. Tremendous series from Sinners, and they indeed book their spot into next week's finals. That wraps us up for Cup 4. We're taking one day off, and then we're back for said playoffs. It's 4 teams, standard bracket, semi-finals, best of 3s, grand final, best of 5. So we'll do the 2 semis, then we'll play the grand final on Thursday. So tomorrow off, and then do not miss out on the action. Same time, same place, 7 p.m. CET for your Counter-Strike action here at ESL. That wraps up for Club 4. Come back for the finals as we play for Pro League. We'll see you then.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
Just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speaker calm.